What's good, y'all? Welcome to another video. This time is of the CJ custom clothing on a Marvel Legends Doctor Doom. If you've been following me for God knows how long, you would know that I reviewed the actual Marvel Legends Doctor Doom over on my IGTV. If you haven't seen it, go on, check it out. There's also tons of other people who have already reviewed Doctor Doom, so you can check out their videos. This is going to be about the CJ clothing and how it kind of changes the figure and make it immensely better. So yeah, let's get to it. One of the real cool things about adding clothing to your figure is that it can literally make or break a figure. Sometimes the style calls for it, sometimes it doesn't. But with CJ, he seems to find a way to make sure it's always called for. And I've always enjoyed that. It's really cool to see this Doctor Doom come to life. And yeah, it's really dope to see. And this is one of those things where I didn't think I'd need a cloth tunic. I was like, oh, yeah, I just need the cape and the hood. Nah, man, it definitely changes an entire figure. And I'll go over all that in a second. But yeah, just to get a nice look, a wraparound about it. Doom is always about that life. And I appreciate his brutal honesty, even when it's not called for. Plus, Doom speaks in all caps. Spider-Man confirmed it. Now, in terms of articulation, it may not seem like much, but real quick, right? When you take this Doom and you put it next to the modded cloth one, yeah, I like the dark green. That's great. But as you can see, it definitely weighs the figure down. As you can see here, it's giving me some trouble standing him up. As you see, he won't stand. So let's just leave him there like that, right? While this Doom looks a little buff and this one looks a little more whatever, one thing I can also do is if I decide to change the style and make sure the coat, like the cloth drapes back or it drapes over to the side, it's an easy change for me. So one of those things definitely being the dynamic. I can change around the look. I can change to make it look like a different art style. It just definitely works. Now, if we're talking about getting this guy down in certain poses, this is one of those things where this is where it really shows. I'm gonna pose this guy up, trying to get him in a downward pose. And as you can see here, this is gonna get in the way of having this guy posed up without modding it in any shape or form. As you can see here, that cape's gonna be in the way, the feet don't touch flat, stuff like that. Now with this guy, I'm gonna do the same pose actually. I'm just gonna let me just literally imitate the same pose. And as you can see here, Doom actually has a more natural pose, sits better, and just works functionality-wise a lot better. So this is one of those times where clothing is actually perfectly called for. This is one of those things where I don't like doing comparison videos, but that's exactly what I'm doing now. And it's getting my attention. I should probably do more because stuff like this is important for me as a person who likes articulation, likes for it to look good. I don't want to edit stuff, mostly because I don't know how to edit. I'm pretty much an idiot when it comes to technology, at least by today's standard. I can do all the basic stuff, but instead of me doing the work that calls for it to be done digitally, I like to get hands-on with my stuff. And that's the difference here. I really like clothing that makes it functional for a figure, especially for a character who uses it. This is not the go-to for me. While it is a great figure, do not get it twisted. This is going to be the go-to for me, right? Let's remove that. Let's sit here and talk about how Doom looks so much better and so much fly when he can just sit here and do actual cool stuff that would be Doom worthy. See here, pose down, and you can see the drape is cut off. So if you want to do magical stuff, get blown back, look really cool and like really background stuff, or do jumping poses, all of that stuff is now easily possible. This is a terrible pose. Let me change this whole thing around. I don't know why I made it so ugly. I'm so sorry. So yeah. So let's say Doom was fighting Iron Man 2099. Well, sorry, 2020. Who the year is 2020, and I feel like, oof. But yeah. So let's say these two were fighting and you're doing some fighting poses, some classic like style stuff, like the Ron Lim stuff, and you want to get these guys posed up. Look how easy it was for me to get Doom in a pose that works pretty well. Actually, I want you punching 2020. You deserve it. All of 2020 deserves these hands. So you can see here, easily posed up, easily nice. And at this point I'm rambling on, but it's one of those really nice things that it actually does make a difference to have clothing. I know a lot of companies, especially like Hasbro, have to take liberties in figuring out what they want to choose to be cloth and what they want to choose to be deluxe and what they get through red tape of dealing with that kind of stuff. That's why we go to people like CJ and Harker and everybody else that we buy stuff off, Tiny Pants Tailoring and Toy Wale. We go to these people because we need these modifications that we're not getting from something else. This is what I call an add-on system. It's like, yes, you're getting the figure, the base figure is giving you the work that you need, but sometimes you gotta add more, at least for you to like it. Us customizing it and making it the way we like is what makes them unique. That's why we love this stuff. And having cool stuff like this has definitely made a difference in both collecting and my outlook at collecting. It has been a very fun and enjoyable experience. You can see the more I play with it, the more it looks really good. The cape is wired. So again, all these poses look fresh and new and different. When you let's just imagine effects were here, but that's what I'm imagining. I can drape the cape back just a little bit, or if I want the cape down. And as you can see, I'm gonna learn to paint, so I can paint over that and give Doom a nice little head sculpt. But yeah, this is the fun that I've had with figures like this, and I hope that you guys enjoy videos like this, where I do things just a little different and have a little bit more fun. Because I really enjoy this kind of stuff, and I'm trying to continue to have my joy in this. But shout out to CJ for making a phenomenal, wow, for making something so phenomenal and it being really fantastic. And oh, just because at the time it wasn't a thing and I didn't do it. If you were thinking about the infamous Doom head on your Dr. Doom, yes, it does fit. I'll put it in photos, but I'm also going to try to do it here without taking out the neck of my Doom. And it fits on there, but Lord knows it gives me trouble. There it is. So yeah, you can have your pretty boy Doom as well. As for how he looks next to his infamous Doom look, because I have a cloth cape from Harker. If you want to have these two fight each other, technically you can totally do that. Two different time periods of Doom, and Doom time travels a lot. He's the only person in the Marvel Universe with a time machine. So yeah. This guy is in more his traditional Latveria armor. This is a stolen Tony Stark armor. Yeah, you can definitely make it happen. I've enjoyed this, verily. So, if you've enjoyed this video or you want to check out CJ stuff, there will be a link in the description below. You have to click that little drop down arrow, otherwise you won't see it. If you're on mobile, it depends on your device. I'm only saying this because some people don't read, so I'm going to give it to you verbally. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I hope that you've enjoyed it because I have. And as always, please guys, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.